At the time of Jesus, if you had leprosy, you didn't just have a physical condition. It was something more than just a physical disease. You were unclean. And if you were unclean, it was not being unclean on the outside. You were a bad sinner. You had done something bad. And this leprosy was a way that God was punishing you for what you did. And if you were unclean in that manner, it meant that you did not have a space in the community. You were kicked out. And nobody was allowed to touch you because you could contaminate them, or they could get contaminated. Now, Jesus comes into this kind of a scenario where leprosy is viewed in that manner. And his actions change, that attitude towards people that had leprosy. First of all, there is a request from this leper who comes to Jesus and says, if you will, if it is your will that I should be clean, you can make me clean. First of all, this person recognizes the power that lies in Jesus, that this Jesus has the power to make me clean, to make me well. This leper is sure about the ability of Jesus to heal, but is not sure about the willingness of Jesus to make him clean, to restore him. And Jesus acts on that. And he says, yes, it is my desire that you should be made well. Yes, I will. Be clean. Now, the story doesn't just end there. Remember, this is a leper. This is somebody that is not supposed to have physical contact with people. But Jesus breaks that custom. What does he do? He touches him. There's something that physical touch, physical contact does to somebody that is in a vulnerable situation. Because the physical contact is a language that you communicate to them, that you are concerned about their situation, that you are close to them, you want to be as close to them as possible, that they are not an outcast to you. Jesus touching this person, it is ourselves getting as close as possible to those that are in vulnerable situations and being moved by compassion to do something about their situations. Not just to wish them well, but to do something concrete. If somebody says, I am hungry, don't tell them, don't worry, things will be better tomorrow. If you have the ability to do something about their situation now, be moved to do something concrete. Don't just say, we are praying for you. If you have the power to do something concrete about their situation, your prayer is going to be cemented by your physical action. Jesus doesn't just say, be clean. He goes as close as possible to that person and touches him. It does something concrete. It does something more than just saying, be clean. Now, what happens later, this person who was an outcast now goes back into the community. The restoration that this person goes through or undergoes is not just the healing of the skin. It is also this social healing that goes on, this social healing that goes back into the community because he has met Jesus that has changed his life. When we experience Jesus at a personal level, because of our faith, we don't just undergo restoration or basic restoration. We undergo comprehensive restoration, if we may want to put it that way. That when we have that encounter, we are no longer the same person that we were before we met Jesus. Something drastic, something fundamental changes about our life. Now, this change, this transformation, this restoration is dependent on the depth of our faith. It is this leper that comes to Jesus and says, if you will, if you can, please, or if you will, make me clean. Are we able to express that willingness to be made clean? Here we're talking about the physical leprosy. But we can translate this leprosy into anything that has made us think that we don't deserve Jesus. Maybe there is a part of our life that is dark. There's a part of our life that has made us to distance ourselves from the community because it is a very dark side of our life. But Jesus is not worried about the shame that we could be experiencing, provided we express willingness to come back to the right path, to be restored. You could have done terrible things in your life. You could have been a very bad person in the eyes of the community. People don't even talk to you anymore, or somebody doesn't even talk to you anymore because of what you did to them and all that. You could be viewed as that bad person, but are you willing to be transformed so that you could be reintegrated back into the life of that person or back into the life of the community where everybody now looks at you as an outcast? Are you willing to be healed? Are you willing to be made whole?